Steve was supposed to be introducing me. I think because we knew we were going to embarrass Steve multiple times today and celebrate his 40th anniversary with the Key Bank. Let's give Steve another round of applause for 48. You're welcome, Steve. I'm Ben Sayo. This is very loud, so apologies for the echo. It's nice to see everybody this morning. A couple additional thank yous before we dig into the economic forecast report that we had the results from you all. First, to Luke. Luke, great presentation. I learned so much every year from you standing on stage and sharing this with us. I slept through most of my economics classes in college, so I feel like I'm getting a really good background on that. And it's good because of the roles that we play at CenterState. Also, CenterState staff, who's in the room, wave and please stand up. Everybody that works for CenterState, please stand up. There's a couple of you. Mr. Simpson works for CenterState. In the back, Dr. Lacey, this crew is fantastic. They help us get our work done at CenterState on a daily basis. They don't get the credit they deserve from the public as much as they should, and they pull off great events like we're having today, and they also put together great things like you see in this economic forecast report that was on your tables this morning. So let's talk about the economic forecast report, but before we do that, just another shout out to our friends at M&T Bank and St. Joe's for sponsoring this event. What a fantastic event. We do bright and early in January when there's ice and snow and we had to figure out how to get into the building, but it was great. So, economic forecast. What have the nerds at CenterState pulled together for you this year? And this is it. This reflects a lot what Luke has been telling us, right? I'm not going to talk about all the detail here, but generally, overall, the economic forecast report that you gave us in October of this year is positive. And it's been positive for the past 4 years in Central New York, which is fantastic. And I want to cue in on this stat at the bottom here. 84% of the respondents to our survey that we did in partnership with RMS see themselves as beneficiaries of the anticipated growth in CNY's tech economy. That's a big deal, right? That is a really big deal that 84% of you, even if you're not in the tech space directly, see yourselves as recipients and beneficiaries of that. Now, full disclosure, positive economic forecast report, but we have seen some softening this year. We want to be very clear with that. For the past 4 years, we've had very, very strong responses, but this year, when we took this survey in October, things shifted just a little bit. There's a lot of reasons for that, some of which Luke's talked about. Immigration, tariffs, national uncertainty, also what happened in October, the government shut down, right? So Central New York was at a different time at that point in time than we are right now. And what's the major thing that's happened between now and then? What's the major thing, folks? I know it's 8 in the morning, but the major thing is Micron. Let's do a round of applause. Kevin Schwab is supposed to help me with this. This is a big deal. Groundbreakings are nice. It's nice to scoop dirt, and it's nice to scoop snow, which is what we had last week. But the most important part of this groundbreaking is that construction has started. There was a great piece on Syracuse.com over the weekend where they actually show the construction starting. We have to clear trees on the site by March 31st. So this was not just a groundbreaking where people come and they take credit for things. This is a groundbreaking where the actual work begins. How many people were concerned in October that the actual work was not going to begin as anticipated? And it's great to see that it is beginning, it is moving, right, Jonathan? We've talked about this in the past. It's moving. We actually showed this slide at our last economic forecast breakfast, but it got so many people took a picture of it, we're bringing it back. And this is hopefully a representation of why the Micron project is such a big deal in Central New York. These are the winners of the CHIPS Act. These are the communities that received investment from the CHIPS Act to build major semiconductor facilities across the country. Phoenix, Columbus, Austin, a couple more on there. And this is the size of their regional economy. Some of them are much larger. Syracuse is up there. This is transposed on, I went the wrong way. Transposed on top of it is the size of the project in each community. Each of these communities get billions and billions of dollars worth of investment in these fabs. There's a slight difference here in Central New York, and the outsized impact that this investment has on our overall economy. 3 times of our annual GDP will come from this project alone in Central New York. Our goal is to figure out how we can make sure everybody benefits. Any company that wants to get involved or wants to be part of the supply chain can actually benefit from this. And the interesting thing is, so we took the economic survey before this happened. I'd love to see a new and updated survey after the groundbreaking happened. But it happened in a time in Central New York and in a year in Central New York where we've had the best year for job growth that we've had in 20 years. I've been doing this work for 20 years. I may not look like I've been doing this work for 20 years, but I have. And we, over the past year, have had the strongest job growth in Central New York. So this is a comparison of other metros you can kind of see on the bottom in New York State. And this is Syracuse in 2025. Significantly outpacing every other upstate community and the state average in terms of job growth in 2025. That's a big deal. That's not happened in Central New York, as I said, in 2 decades. What causes this? Retail, restaurants been growing, right? Construction's also growing. You were delayed by progress, possibly coming in this morning with the I-81 construction. That's a piece of this. And this is in a pre-Micron environment, right? So our economy has already begun to hum along. It's already begun to perform and outperform other parts of the community. But there are things that keep us up at night. There's things that strategically we at CenterState need to focus on that include many of you. And we talk a lot lately. We have a new publication at CenterState called the CenterState Signal. Jared and Sky, I don't know if they're here, have been producing it for us. It's a quarterly report that we put out with more economic analysis about what's going on in the community. And we talked in the last one about what the K-shape economy is. So let's talk about what this nerdy thing called the K-shape economy is and how it's impacting what's going on in Syracuse. So this is a chart that's going to give us the experience, the job experience of small, mid-sized, and large businesses in our community leading up to the pandemic, right before the pandemic. Kind of all over this place. Small, mid-sized companies tend to be a little more volatile in terms of job growth and their year-over-year changes. The bottom line here is larger employers in our community tend to be more steady in their growth, not less volatile. Obviously, during the pandemic, we had things drop off a bit, yet no surprise there. And then a pretty strong upswing with things like the PPP and the world reopening. But this is the important thing. Let's look post-pandemic, after PPP ended, what happened to the experience of small, mid-sized, large businesses. They really went in a different direction, right? And you may not be able to see in the back, the one that's gone up are large businesses. The two that are going down pretty precipitously are small and mid-sized businesses. That's the K, right, if we're talking about a K-shaped economy. What's causing this? A lot of the things that Lucas talked about are big factors of this. Access to capital, the interest rate environment right now, access to talent, uncertainty, what's going on in the national economy is causing it. But this is really something for us to be paying attention to as we have this jet fuel of Micron beginning to be injected in our community. What else is keeping us up at night is something that's happening with black and brown businesses in our community. White-owned businesses are on top here, black-owned businesses on the bottom. We are not creating enough black-owned businesses in our community, and those black-owned businesses are not faring as well from a revenue perspective as their constituents in white-owned businesses. Something we need to keep thinking about investing in, figuring out how to move the needle on. The good thing is, we are better positioned as a community, in my opinion, than we've ever been to capture the benefits of Micron. One of the reasons for that is this thing that you're going to kind of get vertigo flying through because this is a drone flight. The Inspire Innovation Hub opened in September of this year. Thank you, yes. The Inspire Innovation Hub opened in September of this year. When we created the Inspire Innovation Hub, we redesigned the facility, we redesigned the entrance, we redesigned the name, we redesigned programs and services under Nora's leadership and John Liddy's leadership to serve all small businesses in our community, to help them figure out how to grow. Not all small businesses and mid-sized businesses will receive a contract from Micron as a supplier, but we have the best facility, a world-class facility now, where any small business can walk in the door and get access to resources, and we hope they do. And if you are a small, mid-sized business in the room today, talk to the team, walk in the door, go to an event. We try to do an event a day in this space, and we will be launching new programs over the next couple of years so that companies can get even closer to the microelectronics opportunities that we're seeing. Also, we're investing in bringing more resources available for companies that want to transition in. We've already raised about $13 million to help companies and workforce development providers pivot into the supply chain. And just last year, we raised another $5 million of funds, of TA, of resources for companies that want to think about that. So if you want to access these dollars, talk to John Liddy, talk to Nora, talk to anybody on the CenterState team. I know you'll probably all reach out to Mr. Simpson, but we are going to be launching these in 2026. There's a lot of great resources available. We want to make sure that we capture this opportunity as much as possible. Okay.